Welcome to the video battlethon of John C. Michael Rosmer, inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. Today's topic, we're going to talk about when you work harder, you don't need to focus on working smarter. And what I mean by that is when you put more effort into something, an indirect benefit of working harder is you get smarter at things. Nobody keeps doing something and doesn't want to improve or doesn't eventually see a better way to do things. The reason I created this video is you always hear people talk about, oh, you gotta work smarter, right? And it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And ideally, yeah, that is the best case scenario. You don't want to keep to only work harder. You want to work smarter and put less effort into it, right? To get more done with less effort. And that's the ideal situation. But the reality is this. If you just focus on working harder, you won't have to, how would I say, stress that much about working smarter, because you will indirectly become smarter by working harder. You know, if you compare yourself to somebody who works not as hard as you, your progress will be greater than theirs if you put in more effort. Right? And a lot of you guys will say, well, there's people out there who are they actually practicing to get smarter, or are they just reinforcing bad habits? And my response to that is, people who have bad habits, if they continually to keep working, will notice that those bad habits will only take, their skills to a certain level. And then eventually they'll they'll get feedback from somebody saying, hey, you're not as good as you thought you are. Or they'll want to try to lead, do something more difficult, and they'll realize, hey, I don't have the skill set for that. So they'll seek somebody out that's more of an expert, and then they'll improve their stuff. Good example, people in tango. The biggest myth in tango is if you've been doing it a long time, you must be good. And what I realized, I've been dancing tango now for 7 years, is that time does matter, but it's kind of irrelevant to how good a person is. Because a person can be dancing tango 10 years, for 10 years, but they don't really practice, or they don't seek to improve their dance. So, they've been dancing a long time, but their dance isn't very good. And it's very evident. When you watch them dance, you can tell that they're not very skilled. You would almost confuse them for a beginner. Where you have somebody who can practice, be dancing for a year, but then they practice every week and they get good instructors and they put a more effort into improving their dance than the person who's been dancing for 10 years. And you look at them and, there does exist that people who've danced only for a year and have met the right people and learned the right things, and their dance is better than somebody who's been dancing for 10 years. So when you look at putting forth the effort into something, it's going to bring you better results than putting less effort in, right? So that's my video about work, demystifying the work smarter, not harder. Because you can't really work smarter if you can't work smarter without working harder. Right? That's impossible. You have to work harder to also work smarter, because the only way to get smart is to do more and to get better at things. Thank you.